Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man, and today we're at secret location H, where we're going to service a few tractors to get them ready for the county fair. So I guess we'll start with this 1955, and he wants everything done to it, all of the oils and filters changed. So we'll take a look at it and get started. Now one might think that it's easier to work on something that's all cleaned up because you don't have to do any cleaning or anything, but it's actually a bit more stressful because you have to make sure you don't destroy any paint or anything while you're doing it. So we have to take our time and be careful. And since this is a show tractor, it has all the pieces on it. A lot of times when you go out and change oil for people, this cover is missing off of the hydraulics. Now let's take the front one out first. Gently. There we go. I decided to move it closer to the door because it's a lot cooler here than it is back in there. It is low, so I think probably a 5-gallon bucket should hold it, but I have 2 here just in case. And you've seen me do this a bunch on mine, and that is take the Allen headed plug out of the bottom of the filter. I think it's that one. And then drain your oil, and then you can change your filter. Come on. I don't remember, he and I were talking, and I don't remember if I've ever serviced this tractor since he got it or not. I've done some work on it, but the oil looks green, so that's his flavor of oil, so maybe I have serviced it once. If I did, it was way back at the beginning. I think I changed this hose on it once, but otherwise I can't quite remember if I've done that or not. I've done so many that I don't remember which one I did what to. And I'm trying to remember, actually, I think when I replaced this line, I don't think I drained the oil out. I think I just quickly swapped, and it didn't leak too much out. So I can't say that for certain, but that's what it seems like I did. And it looks all dry everywhere still, so it looks like that repair is holding. Maybe there's a little bit of a drip somewhere up higher on the, but my hand's covered with oil now, I'll just make it worse. But higher on the priority valve, I'll have to check that. I don't think it's leaking anywhere, but we're gonna make sure to keep up on it. Then we'll get our spring and our steel washer. We're going to try to wipe out this can as best we can. That looks nice and clean inside. Okay. As has been said before, the order that this goes in is you put your can on. So we'll do that. Then you put your spring down in there. And you put your steel washer. Next thing is you put one of your rubber rings in, as I've said before. Then your filter, doesn't matter which way. Make sure it's on there. Should be able to feel it against the spring. There we go. Put your other rubber spring in, or other rubber seal. And then I need to get a little bit of grease and just gently grease that. Let me go do that. Okay. Let's take you back loose. And get just a little bit of grease all over everything. Look at that. Even gonna maybe keep the pretty side out. Now, we like to mess up. We don't need to wrench on it too tight. I mean, we need it snug, but not so tight that we deform the can. There we go. Okay, let's go put hydraulic oil back in it. In case you wonder what $1,200 of oil looks like, there it is. He was very specific about wanting to use oil from Co-op, so that's what I did. See how far we are. Still need some. Probably bleed it and then check the level again. Didn't want to make a mess, but I think I did. There we go. Okay, let's check again. I see it in there. So, per usual fashion, I checked my box of filters and I only had half of the ones I needed to do both of these tractors. So, Dad was in town the other day and I sent him to get them since he was there anyway. And I never checked them until today. So, I had to run to town and get a few more filters. But we got the hydraulic full again and bled out. So, I think we'll move on and do the rear end oil now. And there's several things that you can take loose under here. We have, of course, our drain plug here. And then we have one up farther for the front half. And we have our plug that we can take out that should have our screen on our lube pump pickup. We should take that out and make sure that everything's good there. But we'll start with this one. And it should hold the most oil, but I've got enough empty cans here and stuff that we should be able to get it pretty well caught. I don't know how I'm gonna get you in the view, but we'll figure it out. Another fun part of this is you have to swing your drawbar out of the way to be able to do it. So that's nice. Come on. Uh-oh. Got a little bit of drippy water coming out of there. First. What do we think? Is it going to be milky? Yeah, there's water running in my hand a little bit. Oh, that's not too bad. It's pretty clear. But not knowing the history, we're going to go ahead and change it. There's a little bit of flaking on our magnetic plug, so we'll clean that off too. And like I said, we'll clean the screen for the transmission lube pump and make sure we're all good there too before we fill it up again. There we go. Not quite an even amount of 5. It's always just a little bit more. Okay. How are we doing here? Are we feel up in there a little bit? See what we got. Nothing out of the ordinary. So we'll probably let this drip and go on to our next compartment. I'll stick you to the 4-wheel drive transfer case and we'll try to get the plug on the transmission out. I don't know if there's enough capacity in my jug anymore or not, but at least the plug came loose. Come on. Okay. Here we go. And there's a little bit of trash on that one too. Probably a little bit more than on the other one. I hope that my jug, oh no, almost. Just barely wasn't enough. That's fine. I will let that drip out for a little bit. Get this back in here. Yes, no, maybe. Come on. Well, we'll take this out and see how this looks. See what we got. Come on. Come on out of there. Well, I thought that was loose enough, but the paint's nice and hard on this tractor because it came off in a big chunk. All right, come on. There might be a little oil come out of here, but it should mostly be gone. Ew. Grimy. Sludgy. Kind of nasty. We'll let that drip a little bit while we clean up our plug. We have some grime, some grit. That is why it's a good thing to have your screen on there, so that that doesn't go into your lube pump. Because like we remember on the 4180, it is no fun replacing a lube pump. Well, we'll go clean this up and then put it back in. Well, now for the fun part that usually gets neglected, and this one looks like it's no different. And that is changing the transmission filter while we're doing this. So we have to try to get in there and get that loose. And I'm not sure which position is going to be the best for me, as I am somewhat obese. Let's see here. We want to go this way, right? I got to think about my wrench. We're pulling that way, yeah, so I want to go this way. Can we get it in there? I don't know. Okay, there we're on it. But we don't have any room to wrench. I think I want to come from this back, which is right where you are. So you may not get to see. Hey, it came right loose. That's good. It is quite rusty too. So who knows how long ago it was actually changed, because it obviously was just hanging out on there when the tractor was painted. So it is an AGCO transmission filter. Ooh, baby, let's get out of there. Well, the oil looks nice and clean that's in there, so that's good. Now, of course, I wasn't thinking ahead, and I need to get up and get the new one. Come on, buddy, come on. All right, brand new 1307. Same filter that we use on the over-under. Get myself into position here. I'll give it a little oil on the O-ring. I usually do that, even though you can't see it here. That should be fine. Now we'll get this up in there. And I already checked to make sure my old O-ring came off of my other filter. You should always do that, because they have been known to stick, not come off. And need to give it just a little turn. Okay. Let's stop with it there. I think you're supposed to give it like a quarter turn, but I just kind of go by how it feels. And then that way we should be good. So that's changed. Empty. We need to put oil back in, and then the rear end should be done. And remember, we put in our rear end oil right here on the power takeoff unit. It has a breather made into it. That was an update. The first ones did not. So we'll go get our funnel and oil and go to this. Probably won't film it because it's not going to be that exciting, me pouring oil into this rear end. So we'll come back later with something else. Okay, we're going to pull this top plug out, I hope, and see what our level is. There we go. Okay, so I guess the socket will stay in there. We shouldn't be there yet. It should be still down low, and it is. So I'll get another can of gear oil and we'll pour till it starts to come out of there. Okay, see if we can make a mess. You see it in there? Not yet. Sometimes you can look through the hole and see it back in there rising. You should be getting close on it though. I guess another thing is, I never checked it before we started, so we don't know if it was low. I probably should have done that since I don't know the history of the tractor, but we're going to put it back like it's supposed to be, and then we will know for sure. Now it's coming. Okay, and of course we're not ready. There. We should be good on that. Got to wipe everything up back here. Alright, so rear end is done. Okay, so for your transfer case, there's a drain plug here, and then your fill plug's up here. I think, well, no, it is not. This tractor, I don't think has had the modification done because this cap is still solid. You're supposed to cap off. There's a vent up top, and then you can make this into a vent in some fashion, but this one is not that way. So anyway, it doesn't seem to be causing any issues yet, but I know that it is possible that that can happen. So, but we'll drain this out and refill it. It's kind of hard to get to, but we'll make it work. I might have met my match on this one. It's pretty tight. There we go. Wonder why that was so tight. That's pretty clear oil. I don't think I would have had to change it, but we're starting over because we don't know anything about the tractor. So it's fine in this case. This is probably too small to get my finger up in and feel if it's got any garbage in it, but I think it'll be fine based on how clear this looks. Somebody more than likely has rebuilt this transfer case, since it does not have the customary hose spliced in here, run to the back end, like when the seals blow out. So we will call that good. There we go. Okay, we'll fill this up and then we'll move on to the next thing. The hydraul shift, I usually just change the filter if the oil looks good, and that's what I did here. Sometimes if you change the oil, you let the magic out, kind of like on automatic transmissions. So I've just always topped off as necessary and changed the filter unless the oil really looked terrible. And this looks brand new, so we're just gonna go again like that. Oh, this one is one of the most fun jobs, getting the oil in the front rear end here. Not rear end, but the front end, the front axle. That's what I'm trying to say. And really, I should probably get one of those suck pumps or get my air pump over here. It would be a lot easier than trying to do it through a funnel, but we'll see. I noticed that the drain plug is full of garbage, which makes me wonder when the last time was that this was checked or changed. I see that it has a little bit of a drip, but I don't know exactly where it's coming from. It's dry on the front side. That's odd. Maybe it's just dripping out of this drain plug and making a mess sometimes. And I think, for whatever reason, because these are Clark axles and not an Oliver built piece, they use a hex plug as opposed to a regular square-headed deal like what we used on all the rest of the tractor. So we gotta get our supplies out here to do all this. I think this is the size it is. This one's gonna be the bare, where you have to put it in. It's just very, very difficult to get to with that subframe for the axle. I have to move you. Okay. Let's make sure we can get this plug out before we drain out what's in there, because you never know if for some stupid reason you couldn't get this plug out. Today would not be the day that I would mess with this, because fair is quickly approaching. And ooh, that oil I think is worthy of changing. I don't know if you can tell on there, but it's kind of milky. So we are going to change it. I think I can get a funnel in there with what I got with me instead of running home to get a pump. So we'll give it a drain and see what happens here. Is there enough room? Yes, there is. That's good. Let's see if we can break this one loose. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Come on. Now, get ready. It might not be a lot of moisture. Maybe it's just a fluke, but ooh, no, it's not. That is some nasty dark oil. And there is some trash on the old magnetic drain plug, so we're definitely going to clean that off. Let that drip a while whilst we clean. There's some slight metal flakage in this plug. I hope it doesn't mean we just let the important stuff out when we did this, but probably should come out of there so it can catch more on this plug. Pretty nasty. Okay. Oh, I do not like what I feel in there. There is some more metal. What are you? Piece of a tooth? I don't know. Sadness? That's what it is, more than likely. And we get in there. I really don't want to get my finger stuck and have to cut it off. So, I'll try to avoid that. I think it's about as good as we're going to get it. I'm really kind of disappointed that that's as dark as it is. I also noticed, whilst under here, we're missing a grease fitting in one pin. And the outsides, I'm pretty sure, are supposed to have that same type of thing. And it looks like they've just been replaced with regular bolts. So that's an issue to address in the future. Otherwise, I got everything else on the carrier greased, the drive shaft greased. I didn't do that on camera. I need to grease the drag link back there. And then I think the front end's done. I think we're gonna wait on the outboard planetaries there until after the fair, because I'll want to probably take the wheels off to do that, so as not to make a tremendous mess. But we'll see. I just think it'd probably be easier to take the wheels off so I don't get them covered with oil, but I don't know. I think we're done with our 80-90 drain bucket, or drain can. I'll set it to the side, for now at least. Can I get enough of an angle on this? That's going to be the next trick. Ooh, probably going to have to get a fuller jug. It's going. It's just not a quick affair this way, because I got to bend my funnel. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get another jug. Okay, we got a full jug of oil now, so we are bound to make a mess now. It was just optional before, but now it's just downright mandatory. It's going in, it's just gonna be slow. Okay, last stop on our to-do list is engine oil. And since this drive shaft is in the way, this is a two-hand job. So a double hand job is always better than one, I guess. So we will try to hold the funnel up and get it into the can, and then we have two filters to change on this one since it's a 1955, and we'll show you that in a minute. Okay. Well, it came loose relatively easily. And we gotta get ourselves ready and psyched up for this, because this is where mistakes are made. Here we go. That engine oil is kind of dark. Oh, well, that sucks a lot. Luckily, I'm wearing most of the engine oil, so that's nice. That was a miscalculation on the capacity of our funnel. Luckily, my pant leg was there to suck up most of the oil. Well, the good news is my blue jeans won't rust. So, they are all oiled up for the winter. So, probably had to put an extra scooping of soap in the next load of laundry, but that's no problem. Okay, because it's a 1955, it has two filters, your regular sock and then your extra filter. To my knowledge, the 1950T and the 1955, and I think the 1950 with the GM had these. But anyway, it should just be another sock in here. And so we'll get started on that. And I have my two new socks here, an 1842 and a 1767. So we'll do our best and see what we get. There we go. Copper washer looks acceptable. I want to find a place where you won't see the paint if I scratch it. But accidentally, like. Ooh. Crusty. Crusty. I'm wondering, I'm hoping, this is the correct one. It's what the number called for. Sometimes these socks are deceiving. That weighs a ton. And I won't be able to get it out without taking the sheet metal off. Well, very gently. Very gently. No, we're not. We can't cheat, can we? Can we cheat and get just enough room? It's stuck in there. There. Yeah, we can. We can cheat and get just enough room. Okay. Now, we'll drain this out. Whatever's left in there. There's quite a bit, actually. Flows a lot better when you got no lid on it. There we go. Okay. Well, I got sidetracked there, but I got both of these replaced. So we got new socks in there, and we'll start filling it. And then I think we'll be good on this one. Okay, before we go, let's hear it run. I shouldn't shortchange you on that. We gotta go the other side though, because this is a later model where the key's on the side of the dash and I can't reach around. So hopefully, we don't have any leaks. Pressure, that's good. So I think I'll let it run a little bit and make sure it's all okay. And then we'll move on to the 22. We'll probably call this the end of this video and split it into two parts. I'll do the 22 on the next half because this is getting pretty long already. But anyway, as always, if you like my videos, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.